Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Friday, which is amazing. A little bit of something different this evening. I don't intend on playing any World of Tanks, like you guys have seen before. What I am going to be doing is writing up a bunch of feedback from you lads. Oh, I like the mastery badge. I'm not a bounty. Hey, my dude. Sorry. Tom Blackbird, what's going on, my dude? Phoenix Shroud, good to see you in here, my good friend. I'm not a bounty. Thanks, dude. You caught me watching the screen. Let's make sure my moves are slick. Sliver Servers, hey, buddy. Dirty Girl, hey. Dirty's in here as well. So, shimmy over here a bit. So it's going to be a little bit personal, as per, well, a bit, like, different. Just different. We're doing something different. So, we had a community contributor meeting yesterday morning for me, but last night for the other CCs. So, sorry, I sort of smashed my food down. It's sort of going, So, I've got a whiskey and I've got some lollies chilling here with me, and basically, what we're going to be doing is going through the things that you guys don't like about World of Tanks console, things you do like about World of Tanks console, and how you guys think that we could make it better. And by we, I mean I think the community. Because during the community contributors meeting, it was apparent that whilst we've been rather persistent with some things as a community, it feels like, in my opinion, it feels like there are some things that are being left a little bit, I guess, on the cutting room floor. Some things that we're very passionate about. The message just isn't being driven home enough. So where we think something is being, left behind, they don't think it is being left behind, or where we feel that something is really broken, they don't think it's as broken as it is. And where we feel passionate about such things that, like, for instance, myself, 5-man platoons, they don't think that the community is as passionate about that as the community is. So I would like to grab everyone's I gave up on influencing console. Well, I'll never give up on trying to influence them, so let's just keep pushing at it, right? So what I'm going to do tonight is I've literally got my paper, I've got my pen, and I'm going to sit down. I'm going to pen everything that you guys come up with. We're going to walk through the game, identify things that we don't like, identify things that would make that better, in a way that no World of Tanks run or World of Tanks console stream has ever gone through their own game. They have never sat there and focused on the things that they don't like and tried to think of ways that it could make it better. Heard from the community so unbiasedly, and I don't care if it's salty. I don't care if it's like, this is trash because of this, or this is amazing because of this. Change these things and it could be this. I want to know. I want your opinion. I mean, 5-man platoons. Yeah, Blackbird. We did speak on 5-man platoons, and Minto was really at the start of it. He was quite less like, 5-man platoons aren't going to be so much of a thing. We're not really focusing on that. And then after all the CCs, well, not all the CCs, after everyone gave their opinion, he was more like, oh well, okay, it's not as I thought it was, and that's sort of the instigation for this stream. I feel like whilst Minto is doing the best that he can, he's also too busy, and he can't really get everything across as effectively as a video can. So we're going to make this stream as dedicated to it as we can. Hey Mike, what's going on? As dedicated to assisting his position in trying to get your input across. And to make it as plain and simple as we can for people who are going to be watching this, who are from higher up within the tanks administration. So if we can get them to see this video, or this stream, or this chat that we're having, and address it in a way that they can just sit down, they can watch it and go, well, that's a good point, because we're going to give them examples of what we want and how we want to fix it and show them. And it's not just words on paper. You know, I'm not just going to submit this in a letter. We're going to submit this video and we're going to show them examples as to why it's bad, why it's going to be better doing it a different way, how we don't like it, and so on and so forth. So we're gonna go into the game and we're gonna go look at stuff. So, Grandad, hey buddy, Sleep Service fonts. I cannot read the gamer tags on the big maps. They are compact. One of the letters are too close together. I brought that up in a number of areas, but never heard of it as being taken seriously. Well, what do you reckon about fonts being adjustable? So font sizes on player labels. So font sizes being adjustable. So font sizes being adjustable for players, so individual players. I think that's a really good one. So like a settings menu, so you can just go in to your settings and go, cool, I want my font sizes to be bolder or bigger or spaced out. How is my lag? Peter, my lag is, it's not going to matter tonight, dude. It's not going to matter. Not for most of it, unless we run out of ideas and we go across to other things. So I'm just going to scroll up. I've got everything all us about face here, so bear with me. Mini Shroud, the Are You Listening World of Wargaming stream. Yeah, well, it's not so much Are You Listening so much as let's make it easier for them to listen. You know, you can't listen to words on a page if you just breeze over it. So I genuinely think it's a thing within the Wargaming devs and administration that they breeze over stuff and they're not taking their time to read every word and understanding the meaning of what the community is saying. They're just going, oh yeah, but we're doing that, and instead of actually going, no, read it again. Things are getting missed, so let's sort of remove this enhanced camo factor for TDs. Can you elaborate, Tom? Do you mean like, for instance, like camouflage? Not camouflage. You know how you get consumables? Like, do you reckon like that? So, for instance, if you had like a camouflage net on a TD or on any tank, maybe. You could literally just press B for a period. Like if a light tank gets close, you press B or A or whatever button it's bound to, and that could activate enhanced camo for say 30 or to 60 seconds, and then boost your camouflage exponentially for that few seconds whilst you're getting proxied by a light tank. Is that where you're going with that, or are you thinking something different? I got a fever, and the only prescription is more cowbell. Mud Cam, how you doing, buddy? I think that's where you go with that, Tom. I don't know, you're going to have to let me know what you think about that. So I'm going to write enhanced camo. Yeah, good idea. I think that's probably the most realistic application for it. You know, an enhanced camo, like camo nets have that actual booster on them, so like you get a premium camo net, I don't know. That gives you a boosted camouflage rating for like 60 seconds, maybe. We'll go with that. I think that's a fucking amazing conception. Enhanced camo nets or camo like rations. Cool. Those of you, I fucked my finger up really bad. Sorry for swearing, but I crushed my finger today in a chain of a motorcycle, and I literally heard it crunch. It was disgusting, and so did the guy behind me. He was just like, "Are you okay?" Needless to say, I swore. Another annoyance: the controller settings with handbrakes on PlayStation, on X on PlayStation. The L3 button is not used, and again, I have asked so many times to get cruise control on that, so you are not fumbling to use the D-pad button to activate cruise control. I cannot remember the name of the settings, but you can show your settings and tell you. Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's do that. Alright, so... settings, controller settings. I guess we go with options. Yeah. So... where was... handbrake? Okay, cool. So controller configuration, handbrake click. So I use D-pad and yeah, handbrake click for mine. So what are you saying? You wanted handbrake to be put onto L3 button again, which is the, I mean that's L3 on your Xbox controller that's literally left click though, isn't it? Handbrake click. Forward cruise control. It doesn't show you which one is actually handbrake on this one. So left bumper handbrake. It's kind of silly. It doesn't even show you where it is. Handbrake on D-pad. So I use handbrake. No, I don't. I use handbrake click. Do you guys not have that feature on PlayStation? Is that what you're saying? Let me click on X on PlayStation. Controller settings with handbrake on X on PlayStation. The L3 button is not used, and again I have asked. So I'll go into my PlayStation and get what it's called. No, you're okay, man. You're okay. So I'm just gonna say handbrake. X. Button configuration. Dirty Girl, I'd appreciate you giving me some feedback. You had some really good ideas the other night when we were talking. Whilst you were pretty disgruntled with a lot of it, I want to hear. Hey, what's going on, man? Good to see you. I want to hear what you've got to say. You can join me in Discord. Anyone who's in my Discord, I'm going to sit in Discord and I want to hear from you. And I don't mind if you come through on stream and you'll be talking trash to me. It's okay. It's all right. I'm prepared to take it this time. So I'll be in stream chat, do not disturb, which is perfectly fine for you to come and disturb me. I don't mind. Dirty, you're more than welcome to come through. So a bunch of things that I've been having issues with are of late. I mean, everyone knows the big ones, like post-game stat screens. Those ones are super important. Players really want to be able to go through and have a look at their post-games. I can't look at any of these, or can I? No, I can. So players are really, and this isn't for you guys, this is more for the people who might be watching this. When players see this screen, they don't really want to have too much time to spend on it. They want to go to the scoreboard screen, and at this point here, they want to actually be able to go down to themselves and or other players and press the A or X button to be able to have a look at their shots, their hits, their pens, their bounce damage, their everything. They want detailed statistics on this screen at this point. They don't want anything else. Okay, driving kiddo to school, listening in my truck. Alright, Dirty, you're good. This is going to be a G+ stream, so it should be fine. I'm just, when you do get a chance to give me some insight, I'd appreciate it. So, you know, you guys have got it really good when you've made comments to, you know, your post-game stats on your personal screen. That's sort of not what people wanted. People didn't want this. This is never really been something people have asked for, and it's not too much of a screen that anyone really looks at. I think I've accidentally looked at it once, and I was like, go away. Medals, yeah, okay, cool. But the big screen is this one, the post stats screen. How many times we use supplies and etc. all should appear in post game? How many times use supplies and etc. all should appear? Well, I mean, that could all be on your post game stats. So in your scoreboard area, you know, like use 6 consumables or stuff like that. That's a good idea. Focusing on player interaction on scoreboard tab. More personally or more intricately? we can do that. Fuck, these songs are taking a while to cycle over tonight. Cool. So that's something I've seen them sort of not really hit the mark on that one. Server reticle. I mean, does anyone else actually want a server reticle other than me? I've seen a couple of people ask for it. A server reticle would be nice, or at least linking up the turret with the hull. I mean, a lot of people probably hate that, but it'd be nice to see where you're actually aiming. I'll put it in, but I don't think I'm going to get any love from that. People are going to generally think that that's just something that I've put in. Server reticle is something like more interactive in activity with buildings. Artie can level big buildings with high explosive. Gotta try. Indeed, Phoenix. Tom Blackberg, I like that. So more... So, like, do you guys remember the game Red Faction? More like... I mean, coming into next gen, I wouldn't be surprised if that was something that was very, very easily done. It would require a lot of rendering, that's for sure. When you load into a game, every single person in the game is going to have to be uploading and downloading what's going on there, so... more interactive buildings on maps. I reckon I've always thought that's a fantastic idea. The fact that you can drive into a building on any map in a tank and just hit it and stop and not be able to destroy it seems a bit flawed, and I think that because, you know, if you've ever driven a tank, most buildings don't stop most buildings stop being buildings when you hit them with a tank. More interactive buildings on maps. I.E. Artie can HE bomb them to dust. So I mean, are these things that you want to see in the game above other things? Like, is that the most important thing to you? If Wargaming can have heat maps of player positions, if Wargaming have heat maps of player positioning, etc., then it would be incredible value as a learning resource to see a post-game heat map of player positioning at that point. They do have heat maps, I've seen them. Because I know you'd see like certain tanks and where they go, and maps have heat points, so yeah. Alright, so accessibility for players to view heat maps. That's cool. I like that, man. So I've put accessibility for players to view heat maps for tank movements. I reckon that's really good. That's really going to be a super helpful thing for players who don't know where to go on a map. Rawr, Lady Bismarck, hey, how you doing? Lady B, I'd appreciate some words from you. What do you not like about World of Tanks console, and what do you love about World of Tanks console? What can we fix? What can we tell them to fix? Zalian, what's going on, man? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Wolfing, hey. Zalian, you had lots to say the other day, and you sort of piqued my interest with some of them. So, let me know, man. I want some input. What can World of Tanks console do to make their game better? I know a lot of people are sort of given up trying. But what we're doing tonight is we're making a big old list and coming up with some ideas for some new stuff, giving an opinion on what they're doing wrong with what they've got currently. So, on the Comwheel, I'm spotted. Hey, that's a good one. I've asked it. Although, and if I was to say all, I mean, dude, something's better than nothing. Bring back the order Comwheel. Yeah, look, Wolfing, I myself and every single other community contributor in the meeting the other day were like, bring back the comms wheel to the way it was. So, I'm going to put that in capitals, return comms wheel to pre 6.0, because all they've done is moved it around. In order to tell you how I feel, I have to write you a book. Lady B, I mean, write me a book. I I want to hear it, because what we're going to do with this stream is I'm trying not to swear as much as I can, because we know I'm Australian and I do swear. And most of the time the developers and the administration people don't want to see my streams and my content because of that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to G+ my stream. We're going to have you guys in here saying these things, and you know, I've got the game going, so anything that people don't like, take me to, show me what's going on in here. And we can, you know, actively use the game in the background to identify what the problems are and how we can try and fix them. Everest, what's going on, buddy? Leo, all right, cool. All right, we're getting some stuff in, which is really good. All right, so comms wheel. Comms wheel back to pre 6.0. Positioning of commands. And maybe some new ones. Alright, so that's cool. That's awesome. So I just want a golden duck skin in this game, and that would be perfect. Everest, I have also said that a golden duck skin would be fantastic for the duck tank, or even the buggy. Buggy would be cool to have golden duck tanks. How about refined mechanics? Cool. For example, bush mechanics that actually work. Arty rework, perhaps ways to pick your favorite maps. Okay, so let's go refined mechanics. Bush mechanics that actually work. Do we have bush mechanics that aren't working? Because I think since Xbox 360, when I haven't had any issues, that's just me. So we'll see bush mechanics. Need to be addressed. If you have examples, let me know, please, because I'd like to see where they're not working. Perhaps a way to pick your favorite maps and least favorite maps, so you can get, like on World of Tanks PC, a way to pick priority on maps. Cool. I think a lot of things are going to be dependent on player numbers as well. So the less players we have in the actual game, the less ability they have to do things like priority map selection. Need work. Comms wheel that maps sense, or you can customize to change. Customizable. That is fucking cool. Sorry for the swearing. Customizable comms wheel. Custom comms wheel. I like that. That's a good one, Leo. Oh, nice, man. That's really good. Comms wheel should be customizable, so the ones that you use most often can put on the first screen. I do like that very much. Very, very much. That's very cool. I have said it 1,000 times, but I would pay for more customization like PC. I want to be able to paint my E100 turret red and camo the chassis. Alright, well, okay. Pay to make your own. I'm not sure how that works, because I don't know where the skins are in the coding. Golden duck skin for me. I do like that. Hard to be a god. That's fantastic. A way to pay to be able to make a custom design for your tank skin. So like you pay 3,000 or 2,000 gold to get like a blank canvas skin, and then you can literally just go in and just make whatever you want. I would love to see my water tank standing without having to get a mark on the tank. I think that's already a ticket in for that, from what I've heard around town. But let's have a look at it. MOE tracking without having to have a mark. So from the first game you play, you're immediately getting your results. I like that. It's good, man. It's good. This is good progress. Looking through the Grey Goose Spectacles again. Comes with positioning commands is critical. Absolutely. Hey, Saf25, what's going on, buddy? You still get spotted through a bush. Well, I mean, absolutely. Of course, you're going to get spotted through a bush. Eventually, they're going to overwrite your ability to see. There are some bushes that I feel don't work. No, that's fair. Artery work would be nice. Explain yourself in a bit more detail there, Wolfing. Artery work. I would love to see the damage roll RNG changed immediately because a gun with 490 alpha should not constantly hit for 420 or lower. I believe that's an error with the current descriptions. We were talking about that as well. So if a gun is stated as rolling for 490, that's inclusive of its plus 25, negative 25, and since they've changed it to plus 10, negative 25, they haven't changed the rolls. So that's why you're more consistently hitting for lower, because you can't roll high. But I will write that down as I think that's pretty well covered. To be honest with you, we were having a discussion on it the other day, and I was pretty blunt with them about it. So roll on guns must be maximum to minimum, without any idiosyncrasies. It's all down, man. On CPU, some bushes are more effective than others, not all the same. Okay, cool. No, that's cool. Thanks, Spring. I appreciate that. So, bushes mechanics need to work. Some work more. Some work less. Alright, cool. So just like standardize all bushes depending on their thickness. I mean, well, that's also, that's also a thing you gotta comprehend, really. So this is a bit much, but picking 3 tanks before you hit launch match, and upon entering the map, you pick out of the 3 which tank you want to use, but I don't think that's doable, but they're just throwing it in there. So that sort of goes down the lines of what I was saying a while ago about anyone who watches my stream regularly knows that I've said things. I call it the 1-2-4-4-4 theory, and it's 1 artillery, 2 light tanks, 4 destroyers, 4 mediums, and 4 heavies. And basically, you select your tanks upon matching. So you'll have, say, you'll select tier 7, and then you'll play, and you'll get a map, and then you select your tanks. And basically, you inside that you have a limited amount of time, just like Overwatch, to select within those specifications. However they do that would be similar to that, I think. So okay, modular camo like PC. Cool. 5-man platoons again. Saf25. We did touch on that massively. Minto was under the impression that most people didn't want that, and I think the vote on the day between the community contributors showed that 70% of the community do want that. Or at least the contributors can say that that's what they want and that's what they feel the community wants as well. So 5-man platoons. Whilst there's going to be people who don't want it as well. Like there was discussion between being able to select between 5 and 3, and then we sort of all said, well, what about 4-man platoons? And then we sort of ran out of time and didn't really discuss 4-man platoons. But I'd love to see 5-mans are back. Clan emblems would be great if we could make them right, but I'm incredibly proud of being in clans. Yeah, no, that's fair, man. Clan emblems. That'd be cool. Clan emblems in games would be sick. Deadman tanking, hey buddy. Sorry if I'm behind, guys. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anybody. Zalian, they need to add customizable merc contracts because not everyone has the tanks to do certain stages, and it would be nice of them to add options for different vehicles you could use. Alright, so merc tanks, merc contracts. Able to be modified? 4 players. Tanks. Cool. I think that's pretty fair, man. The low health red effect on the screen option need absolutely 2.5. Thank you, man. Thank you. Red haze on low health needs to be selectable. Yeah, I agree with you. That red haze, whilst it's a cool effect, is also saying that's very distracting, and you need to be able to turn that off or on, just like auto aim or anything else in the settings. So I agree with you. That's very much a good thing. How about a small change to the equipment where your 4th slot isn't taken up by that stupid piece of equipment that highlights tanks? You can disengage that, I'm pretty sure. So I mean, you don't have to have that in there. You can get rid of that, I believe. Has anyone found it harder to shotgun in Arty now that it was 6.0? I've airmailed shots point blank. Dude, I played some Arty on Wednesday's stream and I couldn't get anything to work, mate. I want at least 4-man platoons. Alright, so we'll add that. 5-man platoons or at least 4. Cool, put it down. So 4-man platoons are a good happy medium, so that's something that'd be pretty cool to have. 5-man platoons with limited tank types would be okay with me. Yeah, no, that's cool. 5-man platoons, but say only 3 can take specific tanks. Yeah, so like, you know how they locked artillery to only being so many tanks in a platoon? I think that's a really good idea for most tanks. So maybe 5-man platoons will frame at least with locked tanks. So you can only have like one light, 1 medium, 1 heavy, or you can only have 1 light in a platoon or 1 artillery or something like that. That's cool. I really like that. It's a good idea, man. The only thing about clan emblems is somebody has to filter them so clans don't drive around in inappropriate symbols. I mean, you can get that done pretty quickly on Twitch. So I mean, they should be able to do it. Autolos can mix ammo type, AP and HE, for example. Oh, that's a good one. Like as in, being able to select your own ammo type. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's cool. ID reduced damage, stun mechanic, and all consumables like PC. Small and large should be reusable. World War II tanks should not see Cold War maps and other way round customizable crews again. At the very least, the command speaks the language of the tank they are in. I agree with that. That's good. Alright, so that's going to need more than a couple of spaces. ID stun mechanic. That was brought up in the meeting the other day as well. Arty stun mechanic. All consumables. Yep, cool. Sorry, I'll get off this screen for you. It's pretty boring as batshit. I know this is a bit of a boring stream, guys, but we need this needs to happen. You know, World War II tanks should not see Cold War maps. Page 3. All right. Ow! Perfect day to crush my finger, right? Customizable crews again. Or at least speak the same language. Exactly. Good input, my dude. Good input. Oh, I jumped a bit. Message deleted by moderators. Bot attack. No, that's alright. They happen. No crutch tank. Yep. Yes. No crutch tank. 5 scrub platoon. What? What? Banzam? Yes. Mods. Mod. I disagree. I like larger maps for Cold War infringements. Oh, this is perfect. I want you guys to be able to talk. No arguments between each other, but I want you to say the things that you like and the things that you don't like. If you like something, that's a most people just like, I don't like this. That's fine. If you have an unpopular thing that you want to say you like, then go for it. I want this stuff in here. 2 5s onto it. Fucking hell. 4 or 5 man platoons. 3 mans is too small. I did suggest that they do a 4 man platoon test after they did the 3 man pun to see how it would be effective matchmaking. Thronghammer. I want to become famous. Give me $5 and I will say your name on my Facebook page to all my friends. And hey, Thronghammer. War 2 tanks can't see the other side of the map unlike the Cold War tanks. Yeah, no, it is. It's a the maps are big, and some of them, they are made for Cold War, so it is a bit more difficult. I find the large maps last longer. Maybe add tanks to them. Maps, who knows? I think that's just a start, really. Where are we? I've lost my spot. Did I miss my cola and meth chocolate, puddings and tea? I don't know. We need Twitch drops ASAP because I would bring quite a lot of players back to the game. Twitch drops? That's a good point. Good call, dude. Good call. Make them bigger maps, only 10 out of 10. Hey, good one, Thronghammer. Good calls, guys. Yeah, making the bigger maps only 10 out of 10 would be really good. You're right, 2-5. Return custom matches to pre 6.0. So hard to comp. Oh, it's so hard for comp play. Like they took all the mechanics out for the mode and tossed them out the window. Can you be more specific with what you want? So just like the viewing mechanics inside custom match. So I'm just gonna write return custom matches design. For comp play. Maybe even a competitive play tab. I mean, I knew they were doing that for a little while there where they were making it sort of linked up, but it didn't work too well. Prime rewards from Twitch. I think that comes down to Twitch drops. So yeah, I believe that's the same. Why not unlimited platoons? Seriously. Well, you could go in with a platoon of 15. That'd be pretty brutal for all those greenies. So I mean, as I said, I'm not going to discriminate if you've got a legitimate thing you want to put forward. Multiplayer mode maybe. So like an unlimited multiplayer platoon mode, so you can literally platoon up with like 12 of your mates if you want. You'd be matching for a while if you ever found anyone, but it'd be interesting. If you went into that unlimited mode, you'd be able to actually do that. Make custom games free of cost so we can actually enjoy comp without having to worry about losing 1 million silver each game. Yeah, that's good. Custom games free? Or at least a reward silver so you sort of not end up negative. Reward silver to negate costs. Maybe even a comp play tab where you don't lose or make any silver, maybe. But, you know, Twitch drops not possible in my opinion, just no one watches this game. I mean, there's still a few people that watch Everest. Still a few. I mean, I miss the old food supply. What? Like cola and American vehicles? Oh, I know you mean, yeah, like the specific nation rations. No, I agree with you on that one. The actual symbols for them have been a bit soggy. Being able to say GG at matches end would be great to have again. I mean, they got rid of that. I mean, the game can stop. You should be able to say, yeah, okay, cool, I got that. So being able to say, like, to being able to post inputs on the game command wheel post game, that's cool. I like that. What if, I mean, is like Prime Loot with Amazon Prime? Yes, it is. Leon! Hey Leon. Big maps for 8 plus will be fine. I don't want maps the size of White Park. Agreed. I think we put that in. Smoke effects in game need reducing. I think that's definitely something. Absolutely. All right. What about stuff that's common knowledge, like things that that really piss people off that no one's really talking about, or that they are talking about but you don't think are really being heard? Let's have a wander through. I think I've caught up with everyone. Bring back the extra life info tab on the scoreboard so we can see how much damage our teammate blocked. Yes, so we the extra info. Sorry, I don't know why I saw extra life. I think we covered that earlier on like our first page. Where are we? Yeah, focus more on play interaction on scoreboard tab more intricately. So I think that covers what you're saying there, man. So that's definitely one that needs addressing. So yeah, so what they mean by that was what we said earlier about on the scoreboard tab in the post-game results screen, where being able to press A on yourself or other players shows you that player's efficiency during the game, and by efficiency meaning damage output and like rounds fired, rounds hit, rounds penetrating, block damage, etc., spotted damage, all that sort of stuff, but in higher detail in the post-game screen. Where are we? West server reticle, keeping World War II and Cold War maps separated. Server reticle, that was brought up by Phoenix Shroud a minute ago. I totally agree with you. Server reticle is super needed, especially when you're hitting high latency. You need to see your reticle sitting off the side of the map. So, yeah, I think server reticle would be absolutely imperative to much better gameplay. So, yeah, you're onto that. A West server, praying for as much as I reckon that's fantastic. I'll put it in, but it's not going to happen. But we can definitely try. West server for the rest of the world. Because I know the game has not been as good as it used to be because the West server went down for me. Ban career AFK players. I support that one. Or at least administrative action against players that can consistently load into games and go less than 100 meters. Like it. Wargaming needs to show all the hidden stats like mercy rolling. Yes. And how do you reckon they should show that Cypher25? Do you reckon it should be displayed when you make the hit, so it just says like mercy roll? Or do you reckon a post game should show like a little thing like saying mercy roll on this shot, like How do you reckon they could do that? Maybe like if a shit bun shoots like a waffle and hits him for say like 800 or something, it just comes up in like a purple number, so you can see that has actually been affected by a mercy roll, maybe something like that. Tell me how you reckon they would be able to do that. Cold War maps needs things like barriers and such to be destructible instead of solid obstacles, like the Armco on the highways that you hit and they stop you dead, or the concrete barriers that are destroyable in World War II mode but aren't in Cold War mode. Yep, that was brought up in Super Test. Destructible environment. The same for Cold War as WW2. I'll know what that means and I'll write in more. So, especially if we're going to be putting this this video to the staff, they should be able to join 2 and 2 together. Heavy tanks that can go through buildings. Yeah, so that goes more back to more focus on destructible terrain and buildings through a previous statement put forward by Hardbeat God. So yeah, I support that as well. He said more like artillery, but this is accurate as well. How about being able to choose what matches uses your ×2 or your ops? Might reduce rage if you can pick what match you use them in, so you don't have to have a bad game. It doesn't matter as much. So like as in at the end of the game, say you turn your booster on at the start of the game, and because it's on during that game, you can say, it says, do you want to use your booster for this game result? And you can select yes or no. So that's a good idea. I think I've honestly had that feeling before, and I said it in Rage, like you should be able to choose when these boosters get used. Yeah, I think that's fantastic. Choice of when a multiplier gets used post-battle. I think that'd be good. A lot of people would abuse that, but there'd be, you'd only have so many multipliers, and then people actually have to buy more multipliers. So say you've got an XP booster, say ×5, and you've got 10 of them, and you play 20 battles, and you only use 10 of them over 20 battles. Then they run out of that, and they're like, cool, this works really well. I want to grind out this XP. This is more cost effective. I'm going to buy more of these consumables because I can use them when I want, so they become more usable, and so players will more readily buy them instead of buying them and using them and not really getting much out of them. Maybe have a choice on picking a crosshair when firing on enemy. On picking a crosshairs when firing on enemy, on like the reticle. A choice on it. So you want to be able to, like a customizable reticle. Custom reticle. Yeah, we discussed that. I think it was Renegade Central that coined the customizable reticle. So for players who can't see certain colors, and not actually having any colors just to start with, it really is quite hard to see where reticle's at. Nice one, Sniper. I would like the detailed end of game screen. What tank and what damage you did to what tank. Yep. So, as I said earlier, and there's on page 1 again. Focus on player interaction on scoreboard tab more intricately. So like, e.g., which tank and how much. Yeah, okay. So when a player shoots a tank, so if I shoot a Panzer 5.4 and then I shoot a Matilda, I want to see how much I shot the Panzer 5.4 for, and I want to see how much I shot the Matilda for, and whether it was critical, etc., etc. More detail on what I'm doing in the game, and it doesn't have to be that for every player, but for what I'm doing, that's more. It's very, very important to players to find out where their efficiency is. See, Tom Blackbird, yes, exactly. Ping counter instead of bars at the top. Yep. Numbered ping counter. I know they can do it. They had it in Super Test. Numbered ping counter instead of useless bars. That's good. Thank you for putting that one for us, Cypher. I completely forgot all about it. See, there is call for a server reticle. There is, absolutely. Reduced number of light tanks and arty per game platoon. I believe we did that as well. That was covered in platoon restrictions. Where are we? Platoon restrictions. Five-man platoons or at least four-man platoons with locked tank selections. So yeah, that's in there, my dude. It's already been listed down. Exactly the same thing. So what we're thinking of is, so if you can get a five-man platoon or four-man platoons or three-man platoons, making certain tanks locked for those platoons. So you can't just roll out with 3 light tanks. You can only roll out with 1 light tank or 1 artillery, or those super powerful tanks like 1 or 2 tank destroyers or 1 heavy. Restricting the amount of group spamming on certain vehicles is where that goes from, because you're getting games where players are seeing like 12 tank destroyers and 3 light tanks, and that's just completely not fair. So yep, Leon, absolutely. Zalian, they need to fix the traction on rocks. Yes, fix the traction.
Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch. Rack City, bitch.
Stay awake at 5. Anyway, how are you, mate?
I'm doing fantastic, Sammy. Thank you. How you doing, buddy? Lose the ice effect, essentially, on rocks. I'm going inactive here. That's cool. Hey, I want Pill 16 and a mankini with dirty girl spanking him with a wooden paddle in a bikini. My birthday is in 7 months away. Please plan ahead, folks. Tell you what, you pay for the flights and you pay for our accommodation, and I'll rock up to your front door in a mankini and be like, surprise! And then you can be like, wow, that was really underwhelming. Moving on. Also, about the health bar on the entire team, both enemy and friendly. Hey, that's cool. Like on, was it Call of Duty, or was it Modern? Is it the other one, Medal of Honor? It was where they'd have like the overall health. I was like, it was the same in Star Wars. They did it on Star Wars. I can't remember which one it was, but yes, like an overall team health up the top. Yeah, that's cool. Like it's a slider bar even. Also would be based upon what HP tanks were detected last. Yes, it's a PC idea, but maybe it would provide useful information for people to make changes or play defensively. Alright, overall team health. Overall team health display versus enemy. I think it's a good idea. Instead of having to go off screen to check your map to see how many people are alive or dead, they could work that in with your yeah, I do like that idea, man. Leo, that's cool. Can't call it press A if you don't play initiative. Call the press A if you don't play initiative. Fix the stupid thing where you slide down a cliff on your tracks but still die because you tapped a rock. So environmental hazard. To be more realistic. To be more fair, I think so. Going over the maps and making it more fair. You left out one of those inflatable tank shells. Thank you, Sim. I would love one of those. If someone has one of those, I would love one. Anything to increase the time before team gets steamrolled. I have felt games have decreased steamrolls more often. Anything to increase the time before teams get steamroller. I have felt games have decreased in steamrolls more often recently. I don't know how you would be able to affect that though. Anything to increase time before a team gets steamrolled? I mean, there's audio. There used to be audio cues. I think more efficient audio cues would be good. Maybe more efficient audio cues for game health. etc. So that goes along other things. I mean, so that can be used for like more efficient audio cues for game health and interaction. So like you're on fire, your gun is knocked out, your loader's knocked out. All these things that used to be things. We're spotted, we're losing heavily, we're winning heavily, we can't keep this up. All that sort of things being more reliable. I'm noticing the games, I'm not seeing or hearing these things coming up very often anymore. So I agree with you on that one. The only thing left out in Pink Shroud was the place of action, which would be my bedroom. Yuck. Sniper. The problem with AFK is some people could have net problems, or Xbox is wonky. Like mine, it tends to shut off on its own. I think Sniper once off, so like group, like if you go in and you have like a session where you drop out and you don't go in, and then you go in another one, you drop out again. I know there are some games where if you go AFK in like comp play in Destiny, you get a mark on you, and if you did it 3 times, you get banned. So I think that it's a good idea to address AFK playing in this game, because there are people out there that have had like 10,000 games of just driving in, turning on your auto drive and leaving the game, or even just sitting there not doing anything. AFK play needs to be addressed. It's definitely, because it's a disadvantage for the people who have those players on their team. So some kind of administrative action needs to be taken against those players who repetitively do this. And I don't mean once-offs, like I DC'd, I'm getting a mark on my name. Like I did it 10 times today in a row. You know, and yesterday I did it 10 times in a row as well. That sort of stuff, the patterned AFK should see action, absolutely. If this video is going to staff, then hello folks, and sorry for all the salt. Hard to be a god. I'd like it to, like I'm gonna be making a hard copy of this, because this is automatically recording to my PC, so this will be in high definition, and I'll be sending that copy closed to YouTube, and then linking it to Minto, who will then link all the others in on it, hopefully. And I'll individually link a couple of people who should see it as well, and hopefully we'll pass this up, because there's no negative air about this. There's no swearing. It contains subjects that are super important to what their money making is, and if players are happy, players play more players, more money. So it makes sense. I like how you can now use boosters on different tanks individually. Yes, that is a really cool feature. I agree, that's good. I don't like how you have to lock them on. If this video is going to staff, then how does $1 million company not know how to listen to the player base? Well, I mean, throwing insults to them is probably not going to be conducive to having them listen to us. But at the same time, there is a genuine feel from the community that whilst we're presenting all of this information to you and telling you openly how players want this game to be progressing, and the way that the direction is not going the way they want it, and that is enjoyable to continue playing, that you're not really taking that on board, and that you're sort of going, well, no, we know what's best for our game. And I heard someone coin the term, and there is a staff member, and he said, we know how to make our game better than anybody else. And I think that that's a very closed-minded view. Anyone who thinks that they can do what they do better than anybody else is in a very vulnerable position to have someone else do it better than them if they are under that opinion. Individual player Oncons floating over the tanks for fun. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. So, like, as if you had a badge or an emote on your tank or in your player card, maybe? Well, that's a good idea. So, player card emotes. Right. That overlay in-game. So yeah, like I could have my derpy face, so people would be hard-pressed to miss me when I'm on the battlefield. That'd be awesome. Pill 16, for the Mercy Rolls, I would just like to see if it is affected by RNG, or if it is a time to kill gameplay change, or if they would confirm if it is actually a thing. Like, show the math behind the senses that calculates an average, an RNG save. Alright, cool, so you want to be able to see the calculation that goes on. So, yeah, make it public, whether the Mercy Roll is actually a thing. I heard it from reliable sources that Mercy Rolls are a confirmed thing, and then since that point, Mercy Rolls have been more and more common in the game. We want to know how how the game decides what a mercy roll is, when it does it, because you see so many times that mercy rolls just don't happen. What is the percentage value left on a tank that is calculated to be a mercy roll, and why do some people get it, why some people don't? As an example, why does it feel like the harder a game is being played by one player, the more they get mercy rolls against them, but not on them? That sort of thing. It was like that before it showed damage done to tanks but removed. No, it really wasn't. Wargaming can just take a screenshot of the old UI for efficiency screens in the log and make a new version with the same information. I believe that's what Dude was referring to. Okay. Yeah, so, and that's another more food to the previous thing of people not feeling like they're being listened to. When players are saying things like, look, you had a really good base in the previous version, why now is it not being addressed, and why can't these things be brought forward more easily, and why can't something that was there before be reinstated now? And you know, that's a fair point, it's a fair question to ask. And why has it taken so long? If it is currently being actioned, why has it taken so long, and when can we expect it? How about showing the Sigma stat for tanks? Sigma being how often your shells fly true or goes to the outer circle. So like a ballistics tracker on your on rounds. Cool, ballistics tracker on rounds. So that's kind of like what's it called again? Not Armored Warfare, the other one. I want to be able to turn off graphic details. Yeah, I think that was spoken up right at the start. I think it was... where did we go with that one? I remember writing it down. I just want to make sure it's accurate to what you were saying. I know it's in here, but I'm just going to write it again in case I don't see it. So you want to be able to lower your graphics, Catrick. So ability to lower graphics in options. So that's for smoother gameplay. Sorry guys, I got to turn my heater down. I'm melting underneath this thing. Ugh. If I eat shit, call for help. Hey, there we go. Okay. Drinks break. Yeah, so I want to be able to turn off graphic details. So ability to lower graphics is fair. What about the players who queue early to avoid their MME, who quit early to avoid their MME going down during a bad game? Oh, so like, what? That's a thing. I'm not sure that would work. So can you explain how players are doing that? Because I don't know how that works. Because if I do 0 damage in the game, minusing that off of a percentage is going to drop it though, right? I like the idea though of quitting early penalty. Quitting early penalties, I think that's fair. I don't know how many times I've seen artillery kill themselves when they think they're going to get shot at. Yeah, I know. Hippo, same here. I've had games where I've been going for marks and I've DC'd and it's dropped me so much. Pills allow the same matchmaking platoon, so can play my tier 9 tank with my friends playing their tier 10s. Oh, okay, so open up platoons to multi-level platooning. I don't think that's going to happen, but we can definitely try. Multi-tier platooning. So early on in the day, you could like run your KB2 with a tier 8, and then the tier 8 could roll with a tier 10, and you could match tier 10s with a tier 6. I can see why people would want to do it. There's a distinct advantage and a distinct disadvantage to doing it. I don't know how that's going to go, but we can always try. I think they got rid of that for a good reason. I'm breaking my class is literally doing nothing. Tell your sister Australia says. Tell your sister. Tell your teacher Australia says hi. Mikey, what's going on, bro? Just in. Looks like you're just out. No, I'm not just out. Well, this has been the whole stream, man. We're just chilling. We're talking about all the things. Mean Green time lock on the bases. After 5 minutes, it unlocks and you can cap it. Yes, I like that. That's a freaking good idea. Time lock on base cap. No cap before 5 minutes. That's a brilliant idea, Mean Green. Fantastic idea. So a player can't just YOLO to the flag and cap it straight out on like a standard battle. That's good. Really good idea, mate. Suggest reprogramming bots to not cap. Yep, absolutely agree. So no one likes it when your bots cap out on a win. So Sammy, what we're doing is we're having a discussion about what players feel like they can input to the devs and some of the higher ups in World of Tanks console about their opinions in a video. So I'm listing them down so I can write a little list up, as well as I'm explaining the points that people are making on a video. So instead of people reading something and missing some of the points and missing the emotion that's being put forward into your points, they can merely watch this video that I'm going to link to them, and they can just sit there and watch it. And they take a couple hours out of their time, and they can see what people are passionate about, see what people are thinking, and actually get the correct angle on what's being discussed. So that's why I've got the game in the background, so that people who have issues in game, they can say, go here, this is a problem, this is what should be done, etc, etc. And we showed that with the efficiency tab. The ability to vote via command wheel to cancel out a base capture so players can destroy remaining enemy vehicles. The ability to reprogram bots to be more caring and supportive. No jokes. Okay, well maybe like a vote system to cancel out or to like reset a cap. Team cap. Yep, that's fair. So if your own team is capping a base, being able to cast a vote to reset the cap so that the game, the other players in the game have a chance to win via beating the actual game. Nothing worse than DCing while in auto drive. Oh my god, tell me about it. How about more variety of game types like King of the Hill, except the cap moves, kill confirmed, etc. Okay, so more variety of game types. More variety of game types, like King of the Hill, capture flag, moving flag. My writing is terrible, so that's a really good idea. So in that one, you know, King of the Hill, you have a point, you've got to hold that point for as long as you can, and the player that holds it the longest wins. Kill confirmed, etc. like that. Yeah, as well as like capture the flag, and you know, you've got to cap the flag and it keeps moving, and the player who holds most flags for as long time would be awesome. A flight from is 1400 plus tax for 1 week round trip. That's American. Daddy Girl is only 700 drive from me. We can make this happen. Oh Jesus, dude, come on. So he gets a flight and I have to drive. I love it. That's your only point that you have against that, Dirty Girl. FMJ, hey buddy, hey. I would personally like tanks to have more moving parts or even working machine guns. Yes, so coax. You want the coax on the tanks to work. Bit annoying how your commander's vision port doesn't rotate. Maybe have a working coax gun. Yeah, I should have just read the rest of it. Yes. Yep. So, I mean, I don't know what purpose there would be. Maybe to intimidate enemies, but So when a tank's got like 2 armaments, being able to use both of them. So if you see a light tank, you can drop a couple of rounds of 50 cal into it, and then save your big armament for big tanks. That's cool. For the length of the flight, I could come and you. So how about adjustments to the shell mechanics? For example, if you fire APCR at a lightly armored tank, it doesn't do as much damage. It's based off how far through the tank it can travel to do damage. I've always thought that premium rounds should be able to do more penetration and less damage, depending on the ammunition type. So, excuse me, sorry, I'm eating. So if you're firing, I think more consistency with the ammunition as well is really important. APCR on a light tank doesn't get absorbed by its round, its tracks. Ballistics on ammunition would be fantastic, and I think that's exactly where you're going with that, Leo. So if a light tank gets hit with APCR, it's just going to go straight through it. Doesn't matter if it hits the tracks, it's not going to have to be thrown off that much. APCR is a big old chunk of steel going at a very high rate of movement, so it doesn't matter if it gets skewed by a couple of millimeters by track, it's still going to be slamming into the tank. So APCR basically being more realistic on light tanks. High explosive, same again. You don't hit high explosive into tracks and do bugger all damage. It frags things big time. High explosive is very volatile and it should do damage regardless. And heat, well, heat is one of those things that if it hits tracks, it's almost useless because the way it works is it's like a shape charge. That slug is going to be pretty much ineffective if its spaces aren't working properly. But I'm going to write that down on the 5th page. Ballistics for ammunition being more realistic. Cool. I keep refreshing this in the background. I don't know what else to go to here. Let's just set it tier 10 or something beautiful. There we go. There's something pretty for us to look at. That's fair. Absolutely. They turned off details by removing maps. Gizmo, right, who can slag off Wargaming from now? I'd love to drive a grey brick and shoot with a rectangle. I think that's an old video game from the 90s. I think I remember playing it. It's funny how people want new stuff. I just want shit we have that's broken fixed. FMJ, I want details. Shit we have that's broken fixed. Elaborate on the shit that's broken that you want fixed. I know it's been elaborated before, but we're putting it in a video for people to actually watch, so they don't have to read writing and skim over things. We can actually have it in a video so they're going to see it and not miss it. So FMJ, if you have examples, give them to me. I want to see them. I want to talk about it. You're not hot. You could always take off your pants. Fucking hell. Alright, we're pretty far behind, aren't we? On a serious note, restricting platoons to max 2 of the same tank class. Yeah, we did discuss that, Gizmo. And that's definitely very much agreed. I can see them bringing a multi-tier platoons if they implement +1, -1. So the worst someone could fail platoon is 2+2. No more Burt or KV2s in tier 10 battles. I know, right? No, it's not. There are times you can tell you are not giving. You're going to win in the first few minutes, and you need to cap to win. That's a fair point. That's sort of a contradiction argument towards that previous one. I mean, yeah, sort of each point sort of works and doesn't work. So I guess, yeah. I would like Wargaming to reprogram the bots to differentiate the way they play between Cold War and World War II. When I was 3-marking my Hellcat 105, I have video proof that a tier 5 bot was able to auto-lock onto me and shoot me 3 times while I was unspotted and retreating. The WW2 bots are currently programmed for True Vision, and that's not fair to World War II players. That's fair, so yeah. I believe they've adjusted that. Cool. What do we got? Limit ARTY to 1 per game and stop ARTY from being allowed to platoon with light tanks. That's fair. I think it goes under platoon restrictions, so... Coolies. Gizmo, Pills, the speed boost for tanks shouldn't be allowed on lights, otherwise I want vents on my grill and rammers on my autoloaders. Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. So, currently in the game there's, I'm not explaining, once again, I'm explaining this to people who might be watching. Currently in the game there's the ability to speed boost light tanks with some of the Cold War equipment that's filtered through. Whilst the speed boosts are pretty cool, they advantage light tanks or fast tanks too much. So if you're going to be able to allow light tanks to be able to use that equipment, then as such tanks that shouldn't be allowed to use other equipment such as vents on open air tanks to give them benefits should also be allowed by definition. So restricting tanks that don't need speed boosts to tanks that need speed boosts would be a fair thing to write. So, ow. And I think that sort of comes down to like the old restriction, like governor removal from heavy tanks to allow them to go faster. Coax machine guns could damage optics and modules. That's a good point, I'd be a god. So back to that coax usage. I would love to see shells ejected from tank ports and breaches when reloading. Yes. Ejection mechanics. That is super cool. I'm watching some of the big tanks dropping rounds at their turrets and stuff the sides. That'd be super cool. Limiting the amount of lights per team in tier 5 plus to 2 per team should be a thing. There is no need for 3 plus light tanks on a team, especially if there are 3 artillery. Literally over 1/5 of your team are out of the main fighter at that point. I agree, artillery should be limited to but 2 max per team. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that comes down again to a previous statement of the 1-2-4-4-4 theory, but I agree with that as well. So, yeah, I think a match limit, a maximum game limit of 2 light tanks and 1 artillery should definitely be implemented. So you will never have more than 1 artillery in the game per side. Custom game spectator mode needs fixing to pre 6.0. Comp matches are pointless and encourage spectators. Pointless to encourage spectators to watch. Yeah, no, we did cover that already, Ricardo. But there's another point for that same one. So custom matches need to have the very, very nimble viewing aspects that used to be used in pre 6.0 brought back, because currently they're very, very clunky and they don't really cover the way you view the matches properly at all. It makes it very hard to watch. Yeah, comp play viewing sucks for now. What about competitive play, like a competitive play arena, or like a competitive mode? So instead of getting like ranked battles once every now and then, you get like a competitive play or ranked battles mode. So if you're going out to this screen here, it just says competitive play instead of Cold War or anything like that. It just says competitive. I don't know, you consider multiplayer as competitive, but on that stat screen you can have competitive play or /ranked, which is the same thing. So players can play ranked all of the time, and literally, you have like a ranked season once per month where top of the board or the top 10% get benefits, or even if it's just for play, and that would be something that would be really neat. Come play mode. And in that comp play mode, you can have that goes more to the previous point of having more than 5 people platoons for competitive play. So you can use competitive play to either matchmake single, or and that takes you into like a multi-faceted competitive play mode, or you can competitive play like custom, where you would match like 7 aside and go in like play a ranked battle, or so play like a competitive mat. exactly rolls out from the door across Australia to Hawaii. It was 1 of 1 million. Leo, I don't care, man. I'll write them all down. I got tons of paper here, so if it all needs to be here, it's all going down. And that's the beauty of this being a video too, is we can just go, right, cool, reference this video at this point, reference video at this point. And I'm happy to do it. Like, if we need to do these more often, and I can just submit them, then if they listen to it, fantastic. More Swedish tanks. I mean, I think that there should definitely be more tank lines brought in. More tank lines. I think that's a fair request, dude. More tank lines. Like, we've been getting lots and lots of premium tanks, and it feels like there's been no work done on tech tree tanks or new tech trees. I think put aside premium tanks for a bit and just focus on some tech tree stuff. The community's getting a bit stale with that. The pill scrolls, lol. Gun glitch where consumables reset. Gun raises to the next structure. Mo info they took away. So, gun glitch when consumables reset. Let's put that one in. I believe that it already has a ticket in and is being addressed, but I'll put it in. Gun glitch on rations ending. Lifting gun. Gun on change of sight. Yeah, when you're in structure, when you're building. I just put when near things because I've seen it do it on like wooden fences and stuff. So Mo info they took away. We covered that earlier. So marks of excellence tracking. It was brought up that mark of excellence should be tracked from first game. So you're actually able to check where your damage standing is from the first game, even if it is below the 1 mark standard, which I think is fantastic. So as soon as you start playing a tank, you know where your damage standing is, and I think that's really good. And probably a really easy way to track it as well. Maps we've been waiting for months. Ghost shells. Ghost shells is a very big thing. And bad teammates. Yeah, no, totally agree with you with that. Ghost shells needs to be addressed. And I've heard, like, I've experienced more ghost shells playing on the NA server. People who play on Europe server, do you experience ghost shells as much as NA does? Because I remember when I went across to play a couple games in Europe, there were no ghost shells. Even though I was lagging absolutely terribly, my rounds were still going straight into tanks and they weren't ghosting at all. Ghost shells needs addressing. There are some things that I've actually brought up and they've gone, they can't fix that. I don't know if it's ghost shells, but there was one thing that I did bring up. And they're like, we just can't fix it, we don't know what's doing it. Good afternoon, Wreck Me Mom, good to see ya. Hey, Seb's in here as well. Hey, Seb. Sorry if this is delayed. I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anyone, so I'm reading absolutely everything. The ability to contact cross-platform players in-game. Ability to contact cross-platform players. I think that's hard because PlayStation has a different messaging system, but if there is a way around it, I completely agree. When you go into a post-game, such as if I go into my profile and look up my last game and I go into scoreboard and I see that this guy right here did really well, I can only report this player, whereas this guy I can actually look at his gamer card. So if I go to this guy right here, I can go, cool, this guy did fantastically, I want to send him a message and say, GG mate, you're fantastic. Whereas if I go to this guy right here and he did super good, I can't actually message him. I can't tell him anything. I can't say, you know, wow, dude, 1013 damage in the KV1, that's good, dude. Well done. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you. I can't interact with that player at all. So there's that discontinuity between Xbox and PlayStation still through that lack of communication in game, and that should definitely be addressed by some means. Whether or not I know you can still talk to players in game chat, but people don't use game chat. People want to platoon and listen to other things, so being able to message a player cross-platform is very important. And I support that one, Ricardo, so that's great. Highlanders! Oh yeah, thanks for the sub, my dude. Appreciate you, mate. 6 months! Alright, let's keep going. Alright, cool. Sammy's soon, mate, soon. It's a pro victory, missing stuff. Not sure. Give a click of the finger. Thanos. Maybe I should go for the mouse. You would survive, no problem. I would love if we could customize our own HUDs. Hey, that's cool. I literally couldn't give a flying fig about how much XP I get when shooting a tank, etc. And this would let people pick and choose what they want to see in their own head-up. So customizable head-up. So yeah, okay. Player custom HUD. Yeah, that's cool. I don't know how they would be able to do that, but maybe if it's something interesting, permanently ranked could essentially be skill-based matchmaking alongside standard World War II and Cold War. There you go. So yeah, that's perfectly cool. So a permanent ranked tab, like what we were showing previously, could work completely off skill-based matchmaking if it's doable. So that would be cool. I definitely support that. But who should be? I mean, that's the thing though. When you play ranked battles as it lied pre 6.0, you would get people who don't play the game very well playing with people who are super unis, and they just get foddered. But you would still get those people being carried up through the victories into those elite stages because it goes off wins, and people can just still go in and play like a numpty and win and become, the super elite stage of ranked battles. And playing it in a different way, like the skill-based or the win-based or whatever you want to roll it with, would super level out the way that works. It's weird when you disagree with me. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything and also staying out of personal conversations. You can install the Xbox or PlayStation app that the cross-platform connection would be nice. There is in-game chat is used to play. Yes. No such thing as ghost shells. It's on your end, not theirs. Get good.
Unbelievable!
Okay. I've watched recordings of people on really amazing connection having it. And literally it's like watching one go through, watching the next one hit, watching the next one go through, and then watching the next one hit on a 4-round autoloader. And you got to say, well, realistically, what's going on there? Hey, Ruslan, what's going on, mate? On German tanks, when you want to get riding on them, the Odin becomes Wotan. That's an error. Huh. Okay. Fix Odin error? On German tanks. Coolies. I did fantastic in that game. I don't believe you. It was an example. Did I send you the commander thing I wrote a couple of weeks ago? No, you didn't, Seb. Please do. Send it to me. Stop hype. Sony plays hardball to its environment, and they fear losing influence. It's been a debate for years now. Oh, okay. Something Wargaming can do, which could be cool if priced right, is reactive skins for tanks. For example, if you get 2 kills on your tank your tank's changes appearance slightly. You go up to 6+ and your tank appearance has changed noticeably. Reference COD with reactive camo for guns. It could be something special instead of another reskin. Another reskin, and another tank with a premium reskin. Okay, so reactive camo. Cool, so I got reactive camo that changes with kills. That's cool. That's neat. Alright, all good, thanks. Seeing who is online, you good. Would like to see some rank battles test with no premium ammo allowed. That would be a better test of skill. I mean, rank battles with no premium. Rank battles return and no premium ammo. So you must use standard ammunition or high explosive only. That's cool. Sub25, has someone talked to you about Wargaming Fix auto lock aiming lock on? It straight up doesn't work for me. It locks on to where my barrel is aiming, not where my aiming circle is. Cypher25, I've brought this issue up for a long time now. It's been on and off for many years, actually. What Cypher25 is talking about is there's where your barrel is aiming and there's where your vision is aiming. So if I've got my barrel locked with my turret and I strafe across here and I look at this guy and I press RB to auto-lock that target, my turret should then go donk to that person and auto-lock them. What's currently going on is that my barrel is looking this way and I may be looking over here, and if there's a tank over here and I press RB, the turret's going donk and looking at them instead. It needs to prioritize what the subject inside your vision reticle, not your barrel proximity. Vision reticle. Vision reticle priority over barrel in aim lock. Cool. I think that was pretty fairly explained. Cypher25, that's been a massive problem for me too. Like, and the other day I saw it plain as day on Wednesday on my stream. I was watching you. You looked at the guy at the left, and I saw you auto target him, and the barrel went halfway and shot a guy that was literally on the other side of a mountain. It auto locked on the other side of a cliff, and there was no vision. There was no line of sight at all. So that was pretty crap. I think Artie should be limited to 1 per game and revoke their ability to platoon with lights. We did cover that one already, Zalian, limiting artillery and light tanks to 1 per platoon and 1 per game. Add the Stalinator, the perfect tank. Is that the three-barreled KV2? The players who RBRT will issue a petition to override that, or Unicums with full premium loadout and E4s as well. Can you go in German appearance and look at the... Yeah, sure. So, you're going to have to walk me through it. Clear... What am I doing? German, we'll go to tier 10. Under which part am I looking? What am I doing here? So, appearance... And look at the what Odin thing. So, what are you referring to? Is it? Can you be more specific, Tom Blackbird? And can you go into the German appearance and look on the what Odin thing? So, fix what Odin on German tanks. But where on the tank? What are you referring to? Because I'm not sure on specifics because I haven't seen that. Exactly, it is test of skill. Message on Discord. Thank you. Oh, I see. Oh shit. Wowee. That's huge, mate. Okay, cool. Seb, do you think I should read this out or submit that? What would you like me to do? Let me know. I've got it, so you tell me what you want me to do with it. Quality, Leo de Sol, a quality of life improvement is to be able to aim outside of the hull lock or hull lock tanks. For example, ISU has a narrow gun arc, so you have to move the hull to aim past the gun arc. Have a setting where you can aim independently of the tank. And the tank will follow your aim unless it's in the game already and I'm being stupid. I think that comes into hull lock. Yeah, it comes into hull lock. So turn off hull lock on when you match in. So I believe that's what you're saying. I may be wrong. So when you match into a game, go into your settings. Settings, and I think it's in... might be in... Options... Where are we? Auto aim... Rotate radar... Indicators of emphasis, horizontal stabilization, minimap... No. Alright, well... It used to be in the settings. I think it might have gone, but it used to have an option where you could disable auto lock on game begin. So that's one that's changed. So return page 6. Return option for auto lock off. Hull lock, sorry. Return option for hull lock off or on. Cool. Sammy, I love that idea. Which one? Okay, also, can you tell me... No, you can tell me to shut up at any time, Pills. I have a lot of ideas, but also waffle on. No, Leo, go for it, man. They're good ideas. There are no bad ideas here, and there is no waste of time. You guys fill up with anything you want. Girly Devil! The inscription, Pills. Inscriptions. Oh, gotcha. Cool, cool. Which page is it on? Wotan just says Wotan. Is that the one you're referring to? Oh, I see. I see. On the actual thing it says Odin inscription. Okay. Wotan, Odin. So you want that return to Odin in general? Is Wotan German for Odin? I'm not sure. I might be missing something here. But it's listed down, so I think we discussed it, which is good. It's not in the game currently to Soul. I see what you're saying, being able to pan zoomed in further than barrel trellis summit. Yeah, so I think that does come down to hull lock as well. The writing you can put on tanks. Yeah, I got you guys, I got you, I'm sorry. Yo, make it playing hull lock TDs less awkward. Yeah, I'm okay. Serious suggestion. There are a lot of untapped World War II historical events and vehicles that aren't in game, like Warsaw Uprising. It's a map. We have the Poodle from the actual battle, but no map. Warsaw Uprising map. I believe there was a question about the Warsaw Uprising and it being a map, and the discussion about the actual event and the sensitivity to the event being the issue with that, but confirmation on that would be fantastic. Submit it. I thought KB sent it to you ages ago. Highlander read it out in one of his streams. Spills. Oh, okay, Seb. All right. Well, I'll put it in with the stuff I'm doing as well. So I think you'll probably find KB did send it to me, and I completely spaced because I'm pretty bad. But now it's right here. I will make sure it's open on my window so I can't miss it. Can you tell Minto that the dev teams needs to prioritize bringing back old maps and not giving us new maps? I think there are different teams for different things. So there's like an art team, and there's the dev team, and there's like the licensing team. There's all different sorts of teams, and I think that a lot of the... I'm going to be turning this down for a bit. I think that the dev team is working overtime at the moment. but I think I don't have actual insight on what they're actually developing. But prioritizing old maps before new maps. Yep, no worries. Prioritizing of old maps before the releasing of new content. So players want to see the return of their favorite maps, the maps that have been keeping them in the game for a long period of time. The prioritization of new development on maps and new development on tanks that we don't particularly have an interest for or a need for yet should be put on a back burner comparatively to the return of old stuff. So if you are doing like Skeleton Crew on the return of old maps, pause your new content, get some more people on the old stuff and get them back into the game. And if there are reasons why you're not doing that, let the community know. Where we need to be able to understand each other in a mutual sense that you're not doing something. Why? Why aren't we having these things? Level with us. We need to know. So okay, in Sniper you can't aim past the gun arc. You have to move the hull. But what I am suggesting is that be able to look around without having to move. Like the Stark, if you press the button and not move the turret, you can look around. Yes, I get what you mean. So a better free aim in Sniper View. Yeah, that's hull lock. I'm pretty sure. If you're in sniper mode, and so turn on linear stabilization and being able to turn off hull lock on tank destroyers. I think it is hull lock that's affecting you because you can just turn it off by clicking it. I'm pretty sure. But if I'm not understanding that correctly, I believe you're talking about free aim. But yeah, I don't know. I think you're talking about hull lock. I like the idea about the Stalinator being 3-turreted KV2. It's a 3-barreled KV2. It's spicy. Also, there's a setting to have the minimap to be large version instead of the compass. And the amount of times I have to change it at the beginning of the battle is annoying. I believe that's also a thing. So I'm just going to read that again. Also, is there a setting to have the minimap to be large? Yes. So if you go into settings, it's on the options. Minimap, bottom right. And then you have... where was it? I can't remember which one it was. But I think if you change it once, it stays the way it is now. That no longer returns back to the previous way. There was a time when you put it back and it was basically every game you had to go in and change it. But if you change it now, it stays as that. But then if you go and select the bottom right-hand corner, that's where that stays. I know that's not your question. You shouldn't have to change it. Once you change it, it should stay that way. How long has it been since you played, Leo? Is this still happening to you? Yes, and Odin. Yes! There is a setting for it in the options. Okay, cool. Yeah, he's got it. What Tan and Odin are the same person? Alright, cool. So, yeah, you want more... you want Odin to be Odin instead of Odin Wotan. Gotcha, so it must be. Alright, cool. So, yeah, Odin being Odin and not Wotan. Wotan is Wotan, but Odin becomes Wotan. That's super confusing. Alright. I don't have an expert. So, okay, I will check. Being dumb. No, you're not being dumb. The ability to turn off tank skins so you don't have to see some of the more ostentatious ones, meaning that going forward, more over-the-top skins can be added, and people who don't want to see the skins in match can turn it off for all vehicles that type. So, locked tank skins being able to be turned off. I see what you're saying, but what they did for a while there is they would release a tank skinned, and then they would release the tank unskinned. So doing that would essentially be taking away the unskinned version of that tank from sale. I'm going to put it in anyway, but I can tell you right now they will most definitely not do that because that's how they were making their money for a while there. But unlocking locked I'm going to give examples. So, unlocking locked tank skins, like the what's it called again? The Fatherland or the Motherland, or tanks that were brought out before we had skins. So if you've got a tank that's got a skin on it, you want to just take the skin off. So instead of having the Fatherland, you can essentially have the IS-3 Auto, etc., etc. So that's something that, whilst I know you've got 2 tank variants in the game, players who've already purchased it aren't going to purchase the tank twice. It's only fair to enable players who have one variant of the tank to be able to make it look like the others, or even cam it with different things or put skins on it as skins come into the game. Good point. Platoon filtering of tanks. Platoon filtering of tanks. So if alright, cool. So platoon filters actually filtering platoons fairly. So platoon filtering. So if you're in a tier 10 platoon, you match with a tier 10 platoon. Tier for tier, so tier for tier. So yeah, if I'm in a 3-man platoon of tier 8s, I want to match with a 3-man platoon of tier 8s, not a 3-man platoon of tier 10s. I'm happy to wait 5 minutes or not even get a match if that's the case. We'll re-pick another bunch of tanks. If it means waiting longer, then that's what it is. I would rather not play a game than have a really unfair match. And I think that everyone else would agree with that. What else have we got in here? Sammy, take care, mate. Thanks for being here. I would just use different tanks to compensate it, probably. I guess we'll see a lot more light tanks. I was on yesterday, Bills. Oh, okay, cool. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to experience what you're talking about, because I don't know. I know in sniper mode you're limited. I've played tank destroyers enough, and I know what you're saying is when you're looking down the barrel, you can't go past your gun arc, but when you're outside of that, you can go outside your gun arc because it auto traces, and you want that auto tracing to be able to be functioning when looking down the barrel. So, like, I thought that was a mechanic. I don't know if I'm. Oh no, I think I know what you mean. Yes, so you want to be able to free aim through the barrel. So like if you press and lock your barrel, being able to move your reticle independently of your gun in sniper mode, so you can look around in sniper mode zoomed in. Or am I wrong? If I'm getting this well wrong, Leo, please just slap me. I like the ability to be a graffiti gizmos tank. Bow rules, okay. I think. I mean, that's worth a point. So being able to graffiti tank, like, or even, yeah. I mean, that's fair. Like, if you get up behind a tank, you like put a tag on it and kill it. That's cool. So I'll say enemy tanks. Yeah, that's cool. Like on is it Overwatch or is it? I think it's Overwatch where you can drop tags. Daggerbuster, don't write that on your list. Zalian. Okay, an elaboration on what I said earlier about the same matchmaking platoon. What I mean is that a tier 7 tank could platoon with a preferential matchmaking tier 8 because they see the same top tiers, so tier 8s and tier 9s can platoon with tier 10s because they have the same matchmaking band. Ah, okay, I gotcha. So pref tank matchmaking with tanks of this. Yep, gotcha. Pref tanks matchmaking with same band tanks, e.g. 7s and pref 7s. Sevens and it's pref 8s and 7s, sorry. Pref 8s and 7s. Cool. I know what you mean. And going back to skins, they do that on ships, and so why not on tanks? Fair enough. Maybe, but they would have to use their own head. Sorry, Gizmo, hello. Maybe, but they would have to use their head and skill rather than loading full premium and RBRT all the time. The name should be changed to rank premium ammo battles. I mean, that's going back to the premium ammo and rank battles, which is cool. I mean, you can turn off other people's camo skins, so you just see a plain skin tank. I mean, I think that a player's choice of skin should not be modifiable by another player. So if I've got a unique skin or something that I've made or something that I'm running on my tank, no one can change that, because that comes down to modifying individualism, and I don't think that's a thing that people can do. But I mean, okay, I'll put it. I'll write it down anyway. Option to turn off all skins. I don't know how that'll go, but it's worth a mention. Okay, I'm out of peace. But Grease, take care. Hippo, love you, my dude. You weren't meant to read that seriously. I'll write it down. Let our 3D commanders have victory dabs and dances. Say praying for, sure. I don't like the 3D commanders, but why not? Let 3D commanders do dances or dabs. Like dabs. Let's say like dabs. Like dabs, etc. Selectable by player. Yep, that's cool. Well, I mean, we've got 3D commanders in the game. We may as well let them do things. Are there any new 3D skins at Tier 10s yet? Not that I'm aware of. I think they got skins coming out soon. There was things. I can't remember. I do believe there's new stuff coming out soon. They were talking about skins for multi tiers. I don't know if that's just talk or if it's actually being actioned. Who knows? Not sure if it's been said, but would like a cooperative mode in World War II. I've been somewhere. I would have somewhere to learn the game and different with annoying people. There is nowhere for new players to learn, just normal match play. A cooperative mode in World War II. Okay. I thought that just comes down to like platooning and stuff like that. I'll put it down, Rugby Mom. Like, I guess it's like war stories or like your training. Like, I guess say like training, like base camp. Gotcha. Forza Horizon Commanders, no thanks. Just put a cross through the graffiti suggestion. Where is it? Was that on this page? Where is it? I think it's on the previous page. I'll just leave it out when I'm typing this up. Buff to hit points for tier 7 TDs. The SU-122-44 has like 840 health. The Tiger has 1200. Okay, so maybe I mean, that's the point of a TD though, isn't it? Like high risk, high reward. I'll say like level out some lower tier tanks. So yeah, you're seeing Tiger 2 with 1200 health and a good example of the SU-122 44 having 840. Realistically, it's not comparable, but I mean, you look at tanks at C, higher tiers, like you've got the AMX Chaffee that's only got like 600 health. So I feel you, absolutely. Learn the game in different tanks without annoying people. That's fair. I'm sure the military players will love seeing breakdancing commanders. No, not at all. Sorry, skins again. Pills, I think the person means an option for yourself to not see people's skins, so I personally don't like any of the skins in the game, so I turn them off. I only wouldn't see the skins. The tanks would look normal to me, but in the person who has the skin on the tank, they'd still see it. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. So if I don't want any tanks in my garage to have skins, only what I want to put on them, so you can just have no skin mode, or just like disable all vehicle skins or premium skins from what you see, so on your tanks. Now that's fair. So you can see you're a Tiger 2. If you got the Tiger 131, you'll just see a Tiger. Yeah, that's cool. I'll elaborate on that one. Let player select. Let player select visual input for skins. I think that's pretty reasonable. Beverly Hillbillies would make a great skin, just saying. I'm not writing this down, Gizmo. I mean, how to be God. Cool. Alright, well, Jesus, guys, that was 2 hours. That went, wow, that went quick. I didn't play any bloody tanks. Has anyone else got anything more they want to add? Like, we've added a lot of, how many pages did we do? I feel like we did a whole bunch of things. I think on PC they buffed the health for the tier 6 in tanks to flatten the curve of the health bar increase, just providing extra content. Okay, cool. So, level out some of the lower tier tanks' health like PC. That's a good reference. So, like, probably more fun than playing 2. Well, I mean, I didn't have much fun on Wednesday, let's be honest. I was very upset. So, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages. Cool. Alright, that's good. No, I'm all good, thanks. Sometimes, okay, just was it 2 hours and no request for more dick tanks? I know, I'm sorry. Sometimes I need a fellow teammate to move when in my JP, so a horn would be nice. That's a good idea. Horns on tanks. So, you know what? Do you guys remember Destiny 1 when they had Sparrow Racing and they had all the custom horns? That was funky. So I am going to add that. I'm going to add horns. Horns on tanks. Horns on... Why not? Why not? And even customizable horns. That'd be cool. Like, you could have literally like a Ruger horn. You'd have just like a tiny little like, beep beep horn on like a huge, like a mouse has like a tiny horn, or like a tiny tank has like an Aruga horn. That'd be interesting. That'd be so cool. Yes, tank horns! I want to run the Rise of the Valkyries. That would be cool. Imagine like 10 tanks rolling that, and if you got it all synced up, that's awesome. In post-game screen would be nice to see how many skills and what skills people are running. Hey, Skelts, that's a good one. Post-game stats. Listing, player, used skills. So that's a really good one. So if a player can see what skill set the other player is using, that's going to be good for learning how to have a better outfit on your tank. So, or a fit out on your tank. So if I'm getting absolutely memed by the same light tank and I'm like, why are they so much better than me? I can click on them and see, alright, his commander has all of these skills and he's using these, these consumables and these ammunitions. I mean, I don't think that really invades people's privacy at all. It's just showing how you use that tank in your own personal way, and it works to educate the community further. So I think that's a fantastic addition, Skelts. So awesome. Apart from tank horns. why do Wargaming have an issue with re-releasing Nameless and others? It's not Wargaming that has an issue with that. Can they not create some tanks but with a different name? So the Nameless and the Edelweiss were part of a comic series, and the rights to the likeness is not being renewed, so they have to pay for that content to be re-released. So whilst players have already bought those tanks and they still are in the game, to allow players to repurchase that and make money off of their likeness would require a copyright purchase. So they'd have to get like an agreement where they pay for a certain time, and that may not be available anymore. All I know is what I've been told from that is it is just not able for renewal, so they can't get a renewal on that license, so they can't sell it. So people have already purchased it under the old permit. They require a new permit / license to sell copyrighted material, and they can't obtain that. So I think that's where that lies. I would love a feature that allows you to choose where you spawn if there is 2 spawns. Hey, choice of spawns. That's good, Zillion. Fuck. I crushed my finger today, and I think I've broken it. So I'm writing like this tonight because this finger's all munted. So player choice of spawn on a 2 spawn map. So for game modes like Assault and other types like that, or Defender, etc., where you've got 2 spawn points, giving the player the ability to choose on Matchmake which one they want to spawn to by selecting it. I don't know whether you can make that non-selectable or interchangeable or what, but once they make a decision, it's stuck, they spawn, that's it, they're there. That also will really fix the issue where platoons are getting two of the platoon spawning at spawn 1 and then the other one spawning up the hill at spawn 2. You can all work together and actually spawn in one place. It also works better if there's a favourable point on the map to spawn. Players can select that point, and that's a really, really good point that's been made. So, Zalian, nice one, man. Keep grabbing the wrong control. How about smoke puffs? No, it hurts hard to be a god. How about smoke puffs you can have coming off of tanks? Not for any reason, but for showing off. Like planes in War Thunder have wing smoke, tanks, exhaust smoke, and customizable colors. I think not a bad idea. So you already have exhaust smoke when you start the game, but like continued one. So I've written down exhaust smoke from tanks throughout the battle, so I think that's a cool effect. Also, Vanguard with a clown horn would be hilarious. Once again, customizable horns for tanks it brings another market to the game. Like, you know, you can either earn them or you can buy them, unlock them. However you guys want to implement that. It was done in Destiny and it was really popular. Unlocking certain types of horns requires you to do certain things, increase playtime. You know, I would do it, I know that for sure. If I could get a clown horn for the mouse, that'd be amazing. Best player on each team should be highlighted in some way, like a kingpin in Midnight Bowling. I think that there's already been that sort of the MVP still does get highlighted now, Tom. But I will put MVP. The best player on each team gets highlighted. Okay, so not the post game MVP, so like the during game MVP. I don't know how you would do that though. How the game would establish someone as the best player. Maybe the last game they played's MVP can be marked. I mean, maybe that's a game mode thing. MVPs get a mark in next game. So I don't know if you guys remember, but a while ago the community contributors did a thing where they'd have like a glowing symbol. Perhaps that would be a way to implement that sort of a mechanic in the game, whereas MVPs from previous games have that glowing effect for the next battle, so it shows them as someone who is a capable player or a very good player. It also gives players a bit more of a proud feeling if they do really well in a game. The next game, everyone can acknowledge them for being special. And makes players feel good. So why not? If it's doable, let's try. How about custom items you can put on your tanks, like rubber duckies and tank? I think that goes to with customizable skins. So I think we covered that one earlier. All players that cap the base with more than 60% of the team should be banned for 30 days. Gareth, no, I don't think that's a fair thing to do. Because that's... I think there was a really good point brought up earlier, Gareth, which was a base lock on capping for the first 5 minutes of battle. So if someone rolls up and base caps, they literally can't cap for the first 5 minutes. It just doesn't give them any points. It just sits there and does nothing. So you'll have like a 5-minute countdown, and then once that hits 0, you can start base capping. That's going to add an increased pressure to it, but all players that cap the base with more than 60% of the team left should be banned for 30 days. I think that's a bit... that would be really hard to moderate because it's all circumstantial. What if the enemy team was capping and there were 60% of the players still alive, and all of the players couldn't get up to the point where they were capping from? So I've had instances where we've absolutely been dominating a battle, but we've steam trained, and unfortunately a light tank has gone to the other side of the map and has successfully capped out because all the tanks remaining were all heavy and we couldn't get back to the base to prevent cap. So I think that's a bit too flawed, honestly. I would love to see the blacklist added to this game so we don't have to play with dickheads. I think banning and what's the word I'm looking for? Punishment of players, it shouldn't be something that makes people ostracized. So that sort of thing would go against their terms and conditions. So I don't think that's a thing. But I know that we put in earlier since consequences for player behavior. So maybe more of a more focus on more focus on player I guess punishment for bad behavior. And I mean, bad behavior can be limitless, really. If you're being really horrible in a game, then yeah, absolutely need a Clown Horn Redemption. Bring back the Tog Battleship event. Oh, Tog boats, that was so cool. Every now and then. I think bring back Tog boats and other events. Now and then. Thank you, Sarge. Appreciate that input, mate. But during a match. During a match, what? Different garages. I would love to see the previous garage, and you don't have to remake them like they have the garage from the X360 option, the garage from the Xbox One. Yeah, selectable garage. Yep, that's a cool point. It's a cool one. The nostalgia of the 360 garage is real, at least for me. Do you remember the Harley Davidson used to roll around? Well, I used to roll around and get the Harley Davidson like right up on my screen. I loved it. Cosmic Carry, hey buddy, nice to see you, man. How you doing? Do you have anything to put in? So many things you've brought up is World of Warships PC. Cosmic, how's the cat? Still being stalked. Okay, banned for life then, arseholes. Fair enough, base cap should be blocked for 10 minutes. I mean, yeah, the base cap being locked for some period of time, so I think we have to go back like 3 pages to that one. But definitely, where do we put that? I'll just reiterate it. put it here. Base cap lock. Ow. Base cap lock for a period of time. Yeah, there's definitely something that needs to go on there. I just put it underneath it, whether it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Cosmic Carry, don't want to discuss my whole cat. I love my cat. She's amazing. What's going on with your cat? How about rebalance for XP, for example, when you get 2,000 damage and 4 kills? You shouldn't get more XP for 4. You shouldn't get more XP for 4k damage and no kills. I think there's an interesting point to be made there. I think fair XP earnings is where you're going with that. I remember my wife watched me play a game once, and I did like 3,000 damage in one of my tanks, and I didn't get any stage awards, so I ended up getting like fucking 270 XP. And she's like, wait a second, how come you only got 270 XP? And I said, because we lost. And she's like, so you're telling me that that guy at the bottom on the winning team who did no damage, no spots, nothing, and didn't move gets 3 times more XP than what you got doing 3,000 damage and all those kills and things, purely because they won? And I said, yes. And she said, well, that's broken. And that's someone who doesn't play the game, just inside on the game. She goes, how is that fair? You know, you fought really hard, you did what you could have done, you did the best in the situation, you weren't crap, but you didn't get a stage award, so you didn't get massive XP earns, so you should be earning things. So fair XP earning needs to be revised. Absolutely agree with that. Okay. She waits for him. Oh gosh. A personal blacklist, so I can never play against people who ramp. Oh, okay. Okay, so personal. I think you used to be able to do that on Xbox, like avoid this player, but avoid player option. I think that's a good one, man. I've had players that I wanted to avoid before because they just absolutely focus on me. Their system is by far better and should be copied. Yeah. Hard to be a god. Try to take this seriously. Jesus, man. Yeah, it is wrong, Gareth. I completely agree with you. Oh, a streamer not playing Cold War? Yeah, no, Cosmic, I don't play Cold War. I don't like the idea of it. I don't like the implementations they've made to the game for Cold War. I've said this before Cold War came out. I was very outspoken during Super Test for Cold War. I don't like the 3D commanders. I don't like a lot of things for it. It is endgame play. It's too expensive. I just don't like it, so I'm not playing it, and it's my choice. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to finish World of Tanks console in its entirety, and then I'll move to Cold War if I feel like it. What do we got here? Also, my explanation sucked. I mean, kills offer so much XP compared to damage, and spotting in the amount of times to see people the same or higher than me just having kills is annoying. I agree with you, Leo DeSol. The kills are affecting the XP earnings massively at the moment. I don't know if you guys are aware of it, but when you go in and you'll see someone with say 1,000 damage and 5 kills, this has been kill whoring, or there's someone there with 5,000 damage and no kills in 5th place and equal tiered. It's unbalanced and needs to be definitely looked at. Kills need to hold less bearing on XP earnings. Shut up, Matt. What's going on, man? I do more damage to get less XP. Yeah, no, I feel you, man. Remove how much kills are worth. Should be based on damage and assisted like the old days. Yeah, and that's I will put it down like fair XP earnings, revised, like so go damage and assisted, not at kills. Damage and assisted. Damage and assisted, not kills. Or less emphasis on kills, absolutely. One day you will learn English. Pills, but Max says the winning team doesn't get an XP bonus. Uh-huh. Okay, then why is the gap so different? How about the color shell traces? Yes, you're making yourself easier to spot, but I want green and blue shell traces. Oh. I mean, I don't know that that's going to be a thing, Leo, because shell traces mean something, so you can identify what ammunition are being shot at you. I'll put it down. But I mean, I don't support that. I think it's a bit contradictory to the point of having shell tracer. Your wife is smart. I'd watch her play tanks over you, honestly. I think I'd watch her play tanks over me playing tanks. And yes, the custom stuff again, just throwing it out there. You're a good Sarge. But I mean, some people just have bad games, especially when you start out with a stock tank. Usually you can't do much. I agree with you. And that's why I don't think it should be something that's like once off. It should be people who play in a way that would be considered to be taking advantage of the mechanics of the game by playing badly. So like people who drive in and go AFK should definitely have retribution for that. Administration taken against them. You have to go. Tom Bupper, thanks for being here, mate. I appreciate your time. I'm so fed up with maps. Let me hear it, Cosmic. I want to know. I don't mind Cold War pills, but you are right. It's too expensive in the grind sense for silver. Yeah, absolutely. When a single upgrade package costs you 1.1 million silver for your first tank, considering that the tanks that you're grinding you already own in World War II, that's just a nasty thing to do to your playbase. In my opinion, Cold War also gets boring very fast with the same tanks in every match. Pattern and more patterns and upgrade to another pattern. Seriously? Yeah, these are also tanks you've already got and you grind them again. So the regrinding of tanks was never a good idea. The expense isn't that bad, to be honest. I make a lot of silver playing Cold War. That got boosted. We were all talking about how bad that is, and we were so persistent with how bad the silver was in Cold War that they kept on just tweaking it. The reason why Cold War currently is better is because there is currently an op for it. Silver Rain. No, it's not Silver Rain. Which one is it? Post-war stimulus. So, player battle, Era 1 only, available multiplayer only. So, see that 130% silver? That is why. This thing here is something that they've currently got on, and I made a point is when they upped this from 110% to 130% recently. I said, is this an op or is this permanent? And I finally got an answer back from Minto, and he said it's an op for now. So the reason why you're earning silver is because this is not because of the way the game mechanic is. As soon as this disappears, your silver earnings will reduce dramatically. I know it's Era 1 only, but it's sort of to help people actually be able to survive past Era 1. And that was because of all of the super testers being very, very persistent with their complaining. I'm not saying we are the reason why, but we were the people who they asked about it. And that's where that came from. So community and obviously not community super test, I'd like to think had some responsibility for that. Pills scoreboard would be way better if it went on damage, not XP. Scoreboard damage based. I can't write. Damage based. Scoreboard. Not XP. Yeah, I mean, so you look at it, damage based, it would be more logical. Yes, Cosmic Carry, most stats please, under 65%. That was covered in my first page, so I believe it was, I can't remember, sorry. But yes, so from your first battle, I've put a list down here. Players would like to see their marks of excellence being tracked from first battle. So when you roll in off your first game, you can come back to your post-stat screen and you can look at your tab, and it'll be, what is it called again? Not marks of excellence, but your, it's getting really late, sorry guys. your percentage on the tank. So if you're at 1.3%, it displays your 1.3% on there. You know, that's where it's got to be. Oh, okay, I see. So there's an image issue with the tanks at the moment. The running flat on the wheels appears to be chrome, but it's just the background. These aren't metal. They were never metal. They're actually black rubber, and on every vehicle ever, other than ones that were wood, they were never metal. So anyone who thinks that that's metal, is wrong. They're rubber. Or other material, not steel. Road wheels have not been steel. So yeah, Cosmic, that's been covered, and once again, very good point. Also, who misses the thunder crack of a Jaeger and a Death Star? I want my shots to rattle my teeth, goddammit. Yes, absolutely. Gun sounds need to return. Pre 6.0. Absolutely. I remember I would literally pull the trigger and let go of the ammo to hear my Jaeger go boosh. I'm like, nah. Because I remember playing in Tier 8 and hearing the Tier 10s firing, like, ugh. It was fantastic. I missed that stuff. And the own tank filters. Own tank filters for Tech Tree? Or for Premium? Own tank filter? Own tank filter for Premium and Tech Tree? And TT. Cool. I like that. I don't know about Max Chaos. Is the gameplay ecstasy? Surely can't be wrong. I've tried on one subject, and Max and I just didn't agree. Simple. He had his opinion, I had mine, and we just went okay and left it there. So I think there's no point getting frustrated when someone doesn't want to hear your point of view. You just go okay and walk away. Why put them there in the first place if they're useless? Sponge XP to force a grind to the next tank. Ow. I apologize for my shenanigans. No, you're okay. Also, I don't base color over shell traces. The sound of the sizzle means heat. Well, I'm deaf, so Leo, I can't use. I don't hear any of the game sounds. Really, I hear my tank drive and fire every now and then. But I use the colors, so if I see red tracer, I know it's what's it called? Generally, it's premium piercing. No tracer or normal standard tracer looking like a white tracer is your standard AP. Yellow, like that bright yellow, is heat. High explosives, just normal yellow. So I use the colors. What do we got here? I agree, because they haven't taught us out as usual. Thought, I think. I agree, because they haven't thought it out as usual that they, hardened player, can tell people what to buy and what not to. Also put tickets in the time if things are wrong. Okay. The remove maps. A lot of them were the bread and butter of all the tanks. Yes, yeah, we did cover tank maps, but we'll put it in again. Maps. So I can assure you, I have been assured by Minto, as well as all the other guys have been assured by Minto, that the maps are currently being revised. There are tickets in for more maps. I understand that the message has been well and truly driven home. It's just a matter of them actually getting it to happen. I believe, I haven't had this confirmed, but I believe there is issues with productivity inside World of Tanks console at the moment due to COVID. I don't think many people are actually working in the building, if anyone. I know that Minto still works from home, and I believe a lot of the others do too. So a lot of their stuff is getting done from home, and well, let's be honest, if I work from home too, I'd probably be pretty casual with what I was doing. So I agree with you, it needs to be prioritized, because I want my freaking Westfield back, and other people don't want to play Himmelsdorf every second match as well. Whilst they're very hardest to change the matchmaker for maps, they're not really changing the pool that they're picking from, which would affect what maps they get. So I totally agree with you. They need to bring the maps back to fix the matcher. I prefer the pre-last update text tree, which allowed you at times to skip unnecessary modules. Plus, modules already researched are free in the next tank. Yes, okay, absolutely. Return pre 6.0 module progression. Players don't like the current module progression. The fact that you're having to repay for and regrind modules, you don't have a choice of where you want your module to be. The module tree was really cool. Whilst you thought that it was not something that players understood very well and found quite confusing, the ability to choose between 3 different gun types or not having an upgrade package or taking your tank back to stock in certain ways. Yes, I understand you can do that in some ways, but before 6.0 it felt a much more customizable part of the tank. So a lot of players agree that that type of upgrade is more desirable than the current one. So definitely worth review. No pills, I'm in tier 3 and I'm making 180 to 500,000. Okay, cool, that's awesome, man. I wouldn't know, but that's good. If you're making good coin, 500k I did with 1.5 multi. That's awesome. Go, what's going on? Remember to wake me up before you go. Okay, so have people asked for buffs to old tanks? Don't know if people mentioned it or not. No, what they did say is the leveling of lower tiered older tanks, so your tier 7s and whatnot, that aren't keeping up with other tier 7 tanks. So I think the example was used as the SU-2244 having 840 health comparatively to the Tiger that has 1200 health. Reviewing all of those health pools and making them much more linear instead of having them ebb and flow so aggressively. And I think I raised the point of the AMX Chaffee as well, having 600 health points at tier 7. Battle damage stats. Yes, we did speak about them. And we're going to go back over it again because it needs to be double hammered into that brain. So if we're referring to this one, we'll go to this tank. This next screen, this doesn't really matter to the players. They don't want to see this. No one looks at it. I don't look at this. It doesn't matter to me. And most people don't really care for it. Medals, I mean, this screen is good. This screen tells you some things: your damage, your assisted, your hits, your detections, block damage, etc. Cool, that's fine. When I go to scoreboard, I want to be able to go to my name and other people's names. And yes, I was having a bad day on Wednesday, guys. I want to be able to click on this player and see how many shots, pens, and everything that he did as well. I want to be able to go to myself and see, like I used to, all of the detailed statistics that I used to be able to see that I can't now. Like, why are we still at this point where we can't do this? So this needs to be brought back in, please. I think having just team deathmatch instead of base capture would be better for the amount of people who they go straight for the base for win. So more preference to team deathmatch. So high rotation for team deathmatch. Cool, that's in. Yep, I like that one. Shut up, Matt. That's awesome. Like E50 ammo, I feel like needs tweaking, a buff or some kind out of the meta. Yeah, the E50 got nerfed big time, and then all this shit went down, and it really has been forgotten, hasn't it? So I believe they are starting to trickle back into the review of tank meta, like they were doing for a while there before 6.0. So I think that's going to be a thing. But yeah, reviewing tanks like before 6.0. Yeah. Sarge again. I'm just too biased to suggest stuff. I like the old game, so I'm still trying to get used to the new one. No, I feel you, man. And once again, this is about what you want. It's not about what you think everyone wants. If I get enough people saying the same thing, then it shows that this is obviously a very desirable thing amongst the community. So we need to see it. Traumatic Chaos, hey man! Zampiers, I'm going to chuck in some tanks that need nerfs and buffs. I mean, you can, that's fine. Please no, I mean 1.5 multiplayer, yeah. Pills needs to get some sleep, so maybe everyone get out the last suggestions. No, you're right, hard to be good. The 850 alpha nerf to the 750 that PC got years ago. We need this for balance with the TDs. Okay, so 850 to 750. Like PC. Cool. So don't forget all these suggestions. I'm writing them down so I can't forget. Nerf the immediately, buff the 26A, it's pretty much obsolete. Buff the Jaeger because it's just obsolete. Okay, so I'm just gonna say review tier 10. New tier 10 tanks for balance compared to new tanks. Yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. There are tanks that have been completely power crapped by new content, so unequivocally. Hearing the tier 10 Jaeger or Death Star Fire used to make my blood freeze. Now they sound like yeah, they do, and that's I think, I don't know why they've done that. I really don't, but yeah. If you guys have the sound files, which I know you do, what's stopping you from putting them back into the game? Like, why can't the tank destroyers have that fantastic sound they used to have? Well, if you can't put them back in, please tell us why. We need to know. But it doesn't even show you how broken it is, Gareth. You need like 6,000 with the 2x exhibit and radar to get 500 cows. You're done with it. Finally boosting the tanks. High 75. Right. Cosmic carry. Number of maps removed should be approved by players. That's a good point. Limit on the number. So, removing map content should be limited, and approved by viewer, by community prior to removal. In future. Carry, it's a fantastic one, mate. I like that. Buff the Chieftain because its Cupola is shockingly bad, and also give the Cobra armor package. I think they're just going over and saying, reviewing tier 10s. I'll put that in. Review Chieftain. For modernization. Fair points. No, that's fine, Leo. So you don't have to apologize. I'm just giving you my perspective on it. Like I use the visual aids in the game a lot more than most people do, because I am profoundly deaf. So, okay, I'm moving past that stuff, Gareth. Co-op mode, you get nothing. Silver boosts because they're all stock. Individual, so you said earlier, it's fine. You guys are having a conversation, so I'm just gonna move on. He's sexy and he know it. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. I'm sorry, I can't help myself. Tier 3 is like M3 Stuart. Don't know if I am misunderstanding this. There's no point in saying tank name is Cold War. Because I don't play means nothing to me. No point in this conversation. And Gareth and Gizmo, lay off. Chill out. no having debates, aggressive debates. A tweak to RNG to 15 plus minus make games last longer. I think they've changed the mechanics to plus 10, negative 25. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe. So you're saying you want it to increase to plus 15? Okay, so maybe plus 15, negative 25? Or just plus 15, negative 15? RNG. Cool, I like that one. Either way, we're going to bring out ops for silver and regularly for at the minute. Surely tells you something isn't right. Exactly, Gizmo. Cool, we'll group them together like Era 1 and the first set's new tanks and set. Yeah, say hello! Hello! I got a boo-boo on my finger. I crushed it in a sprocket of a chain. Funny how some members are valid in Cold War high tiers while shooting bots. Yeah, I don't know about how that should be a thing. You shouldn't get any MOEs in bot modes, but it's a thing. Maybe unpopular idea. I wish they would bring back the ribbon system. Ribbons. No one has mentioned ribbons. Actually, no, I think it was mentioned earlier, but I'm just going to be like ribbons. I miss ribbons. Ribbons were fantastic. Do you know why? I didn't have to look at the tiny little numbers in the distance to see if I actually penned the target. I'd pull the trigger and I'd be like, oh cool, damaged. Oh, I killed him and I damaged him because I set him on fire. Awesome. The ribbons were super relevant, and the fact that they were removed is another visual stimulus that a visual stimuli that I used quite regularly to identify what I was doing in the battle. If I'm shooting people and I'm only getting criticals, I know that I'm doing no damage. You know, we need to see that we're damaging people, and ribbons are really good at that. You know, I know that if they're unspotted, it's not really going to tell, and you're going to get your damage counter. The damage counter is glitchy at the moment. People would like ribbons back. And, you know, you end up at the end of the game and you get 2 bars of ribbons. That feels good. That really feels good, and people want to feel good. Once again, people that feel good play more. So no, it's not unpopular Sarge at all. Economy and Cold War indeed may break, hence the current direction of silver you should begin with. They are looking into it. It's being silver. Okay, cool. As long as you guys are chill, that's fine. Love ribbons. I haven't went and grinded Cold War. I love ribbons. I love ribbons. I love stimulation. It's whack. No one believe him. Alright, cool. Lads, I'm going to pop it there. Thank you so much for this, guys. I'm just going to put the music on mute. Alright, so we've got like 8 pages of things that we've got listed down here for everyone. Just do your own thing. So what I'm going to be doing is this video is going to be on my Twitch, but I'm also going. I record all my videos, so I'm going to put this video onto YouTube from my computer. So it's going to be in high definition. It's going to be boring as shit for people to watch, so I may make it private. But the main point of this is so that I can submit that video by link to Wargaming through Minto, through Max, and I'm gonna hit up Carbide and anyone else that I can and say, guys, please get this through. Let's see some of these things just looked at. Like, we've got a lot of really good ideas here, a lot of valid concepts for the game that have been breezed over, and things that genuinely are, you know, there's some really good original ideas in here from people. There is also some points that I think have been skimmed over in notes from streams from Minto, not because of Minto, but because of people reading his notes have just been like, yeah, cool, yep, alright, cool, no, acknowledge that. Watch this video, have a listen to what the people are saying, look at the chat that filters through the screen, you can see that people are saying these things. These are very relevant things in the game. And once again, happy tankers are tankers who play. So if you play lots, that's good for the stats of the game. they're gonna want to invest more in the game, especially if you bring in some of these ideas that are super cool. I love the horn idea, guys. I think that's fantastic. So you can make money off that. And I mean, I know that for wargaming, the game is about making money. For the players, it's about having fun. So there has to be a middle ground where the players are having a good time and wargaming is making money. And this middle ground, it is only going to be achieved by listening to the player base and paying more attention to what they're doing. They're saying, trying to implement the things that you can implement, openly explaining what you can't implement, and the direction. The big one is direction. The community wants to know where their game is going. And as much as you guys hold this game close to your chest, that time has passed. The gaming companies don't do that much anymore. They like to tell people where the direction is, so players can hype for a direction, or they can go, guys, we don't want to go in that direction, and then it gives the company time to not invest in that direction before they are too far invested to come back from it, and then have an event where they've got the community offside. So this is going to be typed up. I'm going to also add Seb's letter as well. I'm going to submit that with this document, and hopefully we can get some something. I don't care if it gets looked at and then left in the dust, as long as it gets looked at. This has been 2 hours and 44 minutes of my time that I've dedicated to addressing you guys for things that I believe the community needs to have heard. So, and for the community, I'm happy to do this anytime you need. That is, in my opinion, what a contributor does, as well as obviously play video games and do things. If there are issues, come to us, talk to us about it, because we are direct line to wargaming. We have the ability to talk to them. If there are some who you feel are not getting that message across, go to a different CC. Some of us are more proactive than others. Some of us have more or less time. Like I have bugger all time, but I will do everything that I can to get even things I don't agree on sent up the chain. So reach out to me if you have more suggestions. I reply to absolutely everyone who contacts me. Twitter, Discord, everywhere. Just if you see my socials, contact me. I can help you out as much as I can, and if you've got suggestions, we can definitely put them forward. Whether or not they get actioned is totally up to wargaming staff. So hopefully we can have something out of this 10-page document. So thank you for your time, guys. I really appreciate all the suggestions and you guys being here tonight. I will see you all on Monday for a regular gaming stream. And if you did like this, maybe we'll have to do it once a month or less or more, depending on what you guys feel. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, be good to each other, have a great weekend, don't drink and drive, and stay safe in the COVID areas. Bye-bye!
Pills just hosted a stream of 37 viewers. Holy. Wow. Pills. Thanks, man. Yo, what's up? How's it going?